CPE, or Clinical Pastoral Education, it wasn't at all what I expected it to be. I knew that it was 12 weeks. I knew something about what I was going to have to do. And I'd heard people talk about how it changed their lives and they had these personal experiences. And I decided before I ever got here that wasn't for me. I could go through the process, I could hold everyone at arm's length, and I could get through the things I needed to do for ordination and for my ministry process. But I didn't want to have to cry in a room or open myself up in embarrassing ways. And what I began to realize is that going through CPE and opening yourself up and recognizing who you are and then the stuff you bring into the room is where I needed to be. That's how I got ready to be ordained in my church, and that's how I'm going to be ready to do pastoral care with the people I encounter from here on out.
One of the things that's been important for me in this second unit for me of chaplaincy is the reminder it's important to deal with our own stuff as we serve as chaplains in the hospital. And so there's been an hour that our group has spent together, both in our verbatims and our theological reflections, and also in our interpersonal relations hour, where we've really been, where I thought we would be doing one thing, and it wound up being a time where myself or one of the others, we would be unpacking some of the stuff that was behind what we were writing or what we were experiencing. And it was really a good time for a lot of the grief that I have experienced this last year to come out and to be able to deal with some of my own feelings about myself and my perceptions of who I am. And that's been very healing for me. It's really helped me come to a new place. And it's also made me more aware of what I bring when I walk into a room, how I come to a patient, and help me in my conversation with them to be aware of what is my stuff, as well as what I'm really there for to them. And so I have really felt blessed in this experience and felt that this was the right place, the right time, and the right people for me personally to have been a part of this clinical pastoral education program.
I put it in my final evaluation. I used to direct plays, and one of those plays I directed was, as a high school teacher, was The Wizard of Oz. And I called Scott the Tin Man, because he didn't have many tears in our sessions, but because if a tin man has tears, he'll rust and he won't be able to move. So he called Mary Dorothy, because her life's been in a tornado here lately, trying to figure out where she's going to have a job and that kind of deal. Of course, Joseph is the Wizard of Oz, because he's got it all figured out. He's asking the questions. And well, I'm the lion. I demonstrated being anxious or fearful. I went to a patient one day. Joseph went with me, and within a few minutes, he had the patient and her mother talking, opening up. I saw how a chaplain's supposed to work, helping people share their burdens. We've been taught in class to go into the valley with people, not glossing it over, not whitewashing it, but going into the valley and hearing what people are trying to say, what they're really trying to say. You look for cues in their eyes, their lips, whatever, try to express what you think they're feeling, and then have them express the feeling to you. This experience has been one of the best classes I've had in my life. Better than any seminary class I've had, by far. Taught me more practical ways of being a pastor, and made a definite difference on my life.
Well, a few of the things that I've really loved about CPE is I really enjoyed our group time together. I found that we've had a wonderful group, very willing to be open and honest with each other. That's been a great experience. Working the units I've worked, I've been blessed by the experiences with the patients and the nurses. Being on call, I really enjoyed doing a worship service on the mental health unit every week. I've come to know some of the people there and the staff, but also a piece that I was really wanting, that's been really a blessing to me, is to be able to work with Kathy Otto, the hospice chaplain. That's really been a tremendous gift, and I really see a real love for me in that work. And so I'm very grateful not only for the experience in the hospital, but also the experience with hospice.
In my experience of CPE, when you make a mistake, the people in the department, my supervisor and Molly, as she leads the department, they call you out on your mistakes, but you remain in relationship. You can mess up, but you're still cared about. You're still a beloved part of this pastoral care system.
What I liked about CPE was relationships with people. Scott and Mary and Joseph and the rest of the chaplains. Thank you all. Visiting the patients, working side by side with other staff, talking to them, making comments to them. What I liked about CPE was what happened in my life. Joseph opening up, things. I'm worried about things, and yet there's a way out of that worry. And so I got two paths to take: either choose to worry or choose to believe that I'm a child of God, and life can be